Do you ever find yourself in a situation where your phone ran out of battery and you have very little time to charge it? Of course you have. It's a common problem in the 21st century. Ever since mobile phones have been introduced, batteries have been one of the main things that we have to look out for. Back when Nokia was the leading manufacturer of mobile phones, they used to last for 3 days and even to a full week without charge. Of course, that was when phones were only used for standard calls and SMS text only. We know you never want to miss a beat, so stick around and watch until the very end to find out the best methods to charge your phone really fast. The emergence of smartphones with the expansion of the internet with Wi-Fi has changed the usage of battery life exponentially. Nowadays, it would take a miracle to extend your phone's battery life for a full day. Then, as you plug your phone to its charger, how long must you wait before you're able to use it again? Don't fret, we'll show you how. How to charge your phone really fast. Enable the airplane mode. Switching your phone to airplane mode immediately disables the network connection features of your mobile. These features include cellular data, Bluetooth, radio, and Wi-Fi. These features are actually the major consumers of your mobile's battery. When they're left on while you're charging, you'll end up taking a longer time to charge your mobile device. Just do this, and your charging speed rate can increase by up to 25%. Although a few things you have to keep in mind when you're switching on the airplane mode. Once enabled, you'll no longer be able to receive calls or messages, nor will your online applications get any updates. Although there is a way for you to still continue with the Wi-Fi service by simply turning on your mobile's Wi-Fi after enabling the airplane mode, but that would still mean that your phone is still consuming power while being on charge. Switch off your mobile phone. While airplane mode is known to be effective with the way it switches off your mobile's network connections, turning your phone completely off rids your phone of all its uses. Obviously, completely rendering your phone inactive for the next few minutes will allow more charge to be taken in when compared to having it on. Wi-Fi connection, background and active apps, music, calls, and messages. Having all of these active at once will definitely delay the charging time. So having it off is definitely best when you want it to charge the fastest way possible. Plug it directly to the wall socket. What better way to access the power than by connecting directly to the power source? Charging your phone by plugging your charger directly into the outlet will allow your device to get uninterrupted power. Although it's very understandable that when you're on the go, you'd be charging your phone through your car or your computer. Those methods work just fine, but the problem is they take longer to get the job done, which makes them very inefficient options. When you use the wall socket to charge your mobile phone, a power output of 1A is guaranteed. Meanwhile, if you use the secondary sources like computers and cars, only an output of 0.5A gets delivered. Having to consider the aspect of convenience here, the secondary sources would prove to be the viable options. However, when you look at it in the long run, such an option comes off to be inefficient with the extra time it takes to get proper power in your device. Do you find these tips making sense? Comment down below and tell us your tips. Keep watching until the very end. You might not know these next speedy charging ways. If you're enjoying what you've seen so far, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Investing in a quality power bank. Power banks have become the next best thing when you're thinking of convenience while charging. Being on the go is what we're used to doing nowadays, and wherever we go, so do our mobile phones. We've previously mentioned that secondary sources are inefficient, and with the emergence of power banks comes the convenience with a worthy source of power. Having a portable power pack is helpful in most cases. They often provide a sturdy level of amperage, which gives way for faster and more convenient charging. True enough, it's difficult to have a look for wall sockets when you're out and about on a regular workday. There are limits to what power banks can offer, especially if you've used up all the charge on it. You will need to be mindful that this device is considered an additional responsibility that you have to undertake and deal with its charging time that may take longer than your phone. Use a quality power cable. The good thing when buying a new phone these days is that they provide quality power cables that are specifically accustomed to your phone. The only problem is that they get worn out after a year of use or so, with the compatibility of the power transfer to become extremely slow, or worst off, stopping completely. When purchasing a new or extra cable, always think long term, because there are a lot of cheaper options available, unless that's your only option, of course. You can opt to get the 24-gauge cable, which carries 2A, compared to the standard 28-gauge cable charger that can only carry 0.5A. The problem with the cheap ones is that they're unreliable, and they often cause more harm than good, really just wasting your money. If you go for third-party brands, make sure they are certified. Pair the quality power cable with a certified charger. With smartphones eating away battery life like there's no tomorrow, it doesn't really come as a surprise that fast chargers are now available in the market. The thing now is, they're not usually provided when you purchase your new smartphone, as they're considered an additional accessory. Talk about creating a serious need there in order to spike demand. Now the same principle applies when purchasing fast chargers as you did with the power cables. Always make sure that the compatibility is spot on and the quality is certified by the phone manufacturer as well. Again, cheaper options are ready and available, but safety and quality are no easy features that need to be heavily factored. Close unused applications. Smartphones are considered smart because of the many features that the phone can offer. It literally keeps you connected with the entire world through access to different apps. There are emails, instant messengers, video calling, games, and so much more. Now, by having to consistently use these apps, you actually forget about closing them. Remember, just because you're not on it doesn't mean it's not running in the background. Every app you open continues to gather data for it to function and to have timely updates. These apps consume your battery, so when these apps are still open while you charge your phone, it will take a longer time for the charging to complete. So there you have it. Achieving the ideal level of charge on your mobile phone boils down to the quality of power source and optimized usage. Smartphones have forever changed the course of humanity. It's come to a point where they're considered necessary for almost every human being. Imagine the level of power consumption on that. Looking back into that phrase from Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Do your best to conserve energy. If you found this video interesting, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, or your phone's battery will forever be out of charge.